Hello and welcome to Motors for the Masses, and today you find me at MotoGB in Lancashire. Why am I here? Well, it's pretty obvious really, isn't it? I'm here to ride 3 benders. No, I'll be climbing on 3, but no. Anyway, they're called Bender Moto, get over it. If you're not a boomer or a Gen X, it probably doesn't mean anything anyway. But let's move on from the name because that's what it is, they're not going to change. There you go. So first off, we've got this, the demon of all bikes, the LFC700. So let's roll the intro and get cracking. What's demonic about it, I hear you ask? Well, let me show you its sheer size, and I hope it translates onto the camera. It is immense in every single way. At the heart of this, you have a Euro 5 Plus compliant 676cc inline 4, producing 85 horsepower and 44 pounds-foot of torque. If at this stage you're thinking, that looks remarkably like the engine out of the Honda CB650, that's because it is. It uses an alloy frame and alloy swing arm. You get 41mm adjustable upside-down front forks by KYB. I was, when I read the specs, expecting this to be 51mm, thinking these would be too small, but they're not. Up close, they look absolutely perfect. And somewhere in there on the back, you get an adjustable KYB rear monoshock. You get 2 320mm front discs using Brembo 4-piston radial calipers, and a 260mm rear disc with a double piston caliper using Bosch ABS. Which isn't switchable, but then why would it need to be? It's not an off-road bike. You get a 19-inch front wheel with a 130 tyre and an 18-inch rear wheel with a 310 tyre. Yes, a 310mm tyre. That's insane. And it uses King rubber. Now that's a Chinese brand, but it's not a brand I've heard of. However, we'll see what it's like when we're out on the road. It is very imposing on the road, and as it stands, to be honest. However, it doesn't feel weighty. It is on paper, but it doesn't feel weighty, and I'll come on to that in a second. The bike in itself is 2.4 meters long. 880mm wide, 1.1 meters tall. Seat height is only 695mm. Now I'm 5'10½", 31.5-inch inside leg, feet forward position, but it's very comfortable and very easy. I've got a very good arm length stretch on the handlebars, on the side stand here. It's absolutely fine, and as I say, we'll see how that feels, especially with that rear tyre when we're out on the road. Weight wise, it is quite weighty, again on paper, 287 kilos. Half that's probably that 12-inch rear wheel, but again, we'll see how that translates when we're riding. But other than that, it feels lovely. It really does. And I don't like cruiser bikes. Now, I know I've had them in the past. My first 125 was a Honda Shadow. But I'm more of a street bike type person, or adventure bike, or even sports bike now. But not the hardcore, but you know what I mean. But this does feel nice, and I love its uniqueness. It's just imposing in every way, and I like that. Something that draws attention to you. That's why I drive a bright orange Mustang. But yeah, interesting. I could get comfortable here. However, when you stand it upright, as I say, it's very easy to maneuver. Again, I can lean it right over, and that weight does not feel as though it's going to fall over at all. It feels very manageable. Just immense. Everything about it is immense. I love it. The little bit of squeak that you can hear is there's the seat squeaking as I move up and down on the tank. But it's a plastic cover, so the tank is underneath. Then you've got this plastic cover over the top, and that's what the seat is moving against. You won't hear that when you're riding it. You get a TFT 5-inch dash. I'll turn that on and show you when I'm riding the bike. Bluetooth connectivity and a USB on the side there. It's just a standard USB connection. So when you turn the dash on, you get a nice little logo come up. And it's quite a simplistic dash. So you've got the rev counter around the outside here, miles per hour in there, obviously your mileometer, fuel, and your gear change. Now I do want to point out that even though this cover is metal, it's not all exhaust. This is the only one that seems to have a hole in it. These three are blocked up. So you do have under there one massive box. It is a huge box under there. That's not a miniature Lambretta. That's it's perspective. It's far away. But yeah, massive box under there, and then one outlet here. And it comes with traction control as well. But what about the price? Well, how much do you think? 20 grand? No. 8,999 plus on the road costs. So just over 9 grand. Yeah, just over 9 grand. And I think that is a fantastic price. Comes with a 2-year parts and labour warranty, and servicing is every 4,000 miles or 12 months, whichever comes first. Now, I know a lot of people in the comments complain, oh, for a Honda, it's 8,000 or 12,000, depending on the bike you get. But, and you can get a 6-year warranty with Honda. But when you consider the price you pay for the bike and the servicing, is not that bad at all. Service costs aren't hugely expensive. And then what you save on the bike, you don't spend that much more. In fact, you spend less, I think, when you add up the servicing costs over the years. And I know some of the bikes come with 6-year warranty on the Hondas, but nothing like this. I mean, this is in a category of its own, isn't it? There isn't anything else. I mean, I try to look at what I can compare it with. And you could be looking at the £24,000 Triumph Rocket 3 in terms of size. Obviously, that's very different in terms of power and engine size. Perhaps a similar powered £11,000 Indian Scout 1000, but that is more of a classic and not this sort of style. And the same goes for the Royal Enfield Super Meteor, a different style than this. The only thing I think this could be compared to, perhaps the Morbidelli C1002V, but that's a V-twin, 300cc more power, more torque, so it's not really a comparison. So I think it pretty much stands alone. There's nothing else like it out there. With an inline 4, lovely sweet sound to that engine, and you'll hear more when I'm riding it. Sweet sound, massive back tyre, huge dimensions all over, very imposing bike. Great with the alloy swing arm, with that mottled effect and the alloy frame. Just everything about it is immense and beautiful, I would have to say. As I say, when we ride it, we'll see whether it's just as beautiful to ride as it is to look at. But there's nothing really out there that compares to it. It stands alone on its own in a genre of its own. It's like a sports cruiser. I mean, you can't even say the Ducati Diavel, because that's the V-twin that's got a lot more power and bigger engine, and it's not the same as this. Yes, it's got a big chunky rear tyre, but not anything like this. In the mid-range, sort of mid-range, 700cc. It does stand alone in a very unique bubble. I love the look of it, but will I like the ride of it? Let's get out there and see what it's like. So, first thing, let's have a listen. Nice, quiet. Oh, I am going to need the clutch. Oh, nice dash layout there. Oh wow, that's smooth. Ooh. Well, that is smooth. These have been warmed up already, so I can rev it from the off. Let's have a listen. Now, that's unusual, isn't it? For the style of bike that it is, you expect like a blub 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 blub, but it's got that sort of racer engine sound to it. Wow, that really is different, isn't it? So you've got your main lights here, and then you've got your main beam, nice and bright there, or flash, and your indicators from the front, pretty bright. Let's have a look around the back. They flash quite quickly, don't they? Like so, and your brake light like that. This is surprising me every time I look at it, or even now hear it. Right, let's go. Oh, okay. So we've got initial stretch. My car. And you've got that stretch out. I'm not really feeling any issues with that back tyre at the moment. It's really quiet, very smooth in the way it changes gear. So visibility, because of the length of the bars, or the width of the bars, I'm getting about 95% visibility out of those mirrors. I'm in 6th gear, doing 39 miles an hour at 3,100 revs, and it is really smooth. Feet forward position, and my legs are comfortable. My back doesn't feel as though it's straining. It just feels a very relaxing seating position. And what I like about it is just the immenseness of it. I've just got this feeling that there's this massive tyre trailing behind me, and it just looks extremely awesome. I can't get over how, it's to say, the style of bike it is, you're expecting a blah 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 blah, and you just got a smooth sort of CBR sound, Honda CBR sound, and that's because, as I say, this is the CBR 650 derived engine. And you can hear that and you can feel that. It's smooth as anything. Gear change is lovely. It doesn't feel weighty. It doesn't feel cumbersome. That low centre of gravity is superb. Doesn't feel weighty at all. That's the chinchilla in front of me there. And here we go. Oh, that rasp! You have to lean it into a corner, not steer it round a corner, so you do properly lean it. And that tyre doesn't really have much of an issue. 37, I'm doing 35, so speedo's quite accurate. If anything, it's reading under, which is even better. Switch gears are nice and simple. That gear change is very, very smooth. And say tight corners, you've really got to lean it over, push the bars down. I'm being a bit cautious because it's wet and I don't know the bike. I just love that sound. Do you know, I really don't like chopper cruiser style bikes, but this just feels amazing. It rides superbly. I'm not concerned about the corners. There is going to be an element of just getting used to how to navigate the corner in it, but it's not concerning. That back tyre does not put me off at all, and I'm not worried about how it's taking and handling the corners. You just have to lean it by pushing down on the handlebars like you do with any sort of adventure style bike that's a bit heavier. It's not too dissimilar to how I had to ride my Triumph 1200 Explorer, to be fair. Push down on the bar and round you go. But again, it's a cruiser bike. You don't need to be going fast around corners either. So it's not the style of bike where you're having to whip around the corner really quickly. It's just waft to and fro, across the road, round you go. The presence on the road is immense. Look at me, I'm in a massive bike and you're not coming past kind of attitude. I'm very surprised. I looked at it and thought, it's immense, that's going to be horrible to ride, and it really isn't. It is immense, but it is absolutely lovely to ride. It is comfortable. Now I know there's going to be some of you saying, you've got to say that, you're at MotoGP and they're taking you out. No, as you know, you should know by now, I'm very honest on the road. I'm very honest in my reviews, and I say how I feel. Rozzers, 3 of them. Stopping one guy, oh no, 4 of them, one pulled up behind me. And yeah, I'm just surprised, absolutely surprised by how it rides. Pleasantly as well. I'm getting used to how it corners now, and I just push down on the bars and around we go. And here we are in the beautiful Lancashire countryside, wafting along on a ginormous cruiser. What a joy. It feels tight as well, everything feels tight. Nothing rattles, nothing feels weak or loose. Everything feels tight and well manufactured, well put together. Suspension feels great on any of the bends or lumps and bumps. It does feel really good. It handles every lump and bump really nicely. As I say, I was concerned about the lop on that tyre, but no. I mean, anyone who's used to riding a cruiser with a chunky back tyre will know how to ride it properly. Okay, the only thing I will say, now I've pulled away a little bit harder, is you do get a little bit of vibration through the seat. when you're up in the revs a bit more, you get a bit of vibe buzzing through the seat. When we get onto the more open roads, I'll drop it down and I'll give it a bit more in each gear to see how that feels and how that buzzing is. The foot pegs absorb it pretty well. I get nothing through the handlebars, nothing through the grips, and I'll see how the buzz feels at higher revs through the seat and through the foot pegs in a minute. I really am impressed with that gear change. I mean, if you're decent with the revs, you know, not slow and not razzing it, you don't really feel much of a buzz. It's only if you take it up in the revs in each gear. Like there, didn't really feel anything. But the seat is comfortable. I'm not getting any aches and pains. I'm not really stretching my hands or my arms, so I'm not really getting any pains on my wrists, nothing on my arms, nothing on my shoulders, nothing on my back, nothing on my bum. So the only thing I'll say is the buzz if you take it up into the higher revs. But it's a cruiser. I want to see what it's like cruising at 60 mile an hour in 5th and 6th. So that'll give you an idea of what it's like at 70 and 6th. We'll try that in a second. Now, I know this engine is from a Honda CB650. Don't expect it to perform like a Honda CB650, because it won't, simply because it's 287 kilos. So we're pulling up to this junction. It's smooth, as I say, and balanced. I love that sound. It's such an unexpected raspy wow kind of sound. I love it. Just so unexpected. The more I ride it, the more I enjoy it. Good brakes on it as well. Good brakes, good suspension. Comfortable. That chinchilla is coming up in a future video, so stay tuned for that. Of course, it's starting to rain now. Nothing snatchy about the throttle. You have to ride it. I mean, listen to that. That sounds great, doesn't it? You have to ride it for what it is. It's a massive bike with a fat back tyre, and if you treat it as such, you will really enjoy it. Anyone who's into cruisers or big bikes like that will be used to this kind of thing anyway. The difference is, I mean, I've seen some of those choppers that people ride. They look cumbersome, they look uncomfortable, they're difficult to steer, they're lumpy, they're snatchy, and this doesn't feel any of that. It's a massive bike, like a massive cruiser with a massive back tyre that is easy to ride. And I don't know any other bike like that. I mean, I just love that sound. I'll let him go because I don't know where I'm going. It's got a great sound to it and it pulls away really well. And even then, I know I was talking about the vibe through the seat, but I didn't really feel anything then. I didn't take it massively up into the red line, but I did take it decently up in the revs, and I didn't really get much of a buzz. So I think it's only if you hold it high in the revs, which you're not going to do, are you? Let's be honest. It's not that style of bike. It's just a lovely cruiser. Hello, missing some water there, mate. And it just rides superbly. I can't get over how much I'm falling in love with this thing. I don't like cruisers, and this is brilliant. Lots of people stare at you, people looking and pointing, because there's just nothing else like it. Cruising along 50 mile an hour, absolutely perfect, which, as I said, let's be honest, it's what everybody does on cruisers. Nobody rips around corners at breakneck speeds, not at all. They ride comfortably, they ride slowly, and they ride like this. Yeah, surprisingly. I've got the video I'm doing on this will be out on Tuesday. The channel's called Motors for the Masses.
Right, on YouTube?
Yeah.
I'll see it.
I'm doing this one and that one and the other 500 of that as well.
What the hell is that?
That's a 500 V-twin. This one's a 700.
It's like a Sportster S but smaller.
Yeah.
That's what it's aiming for. Just a bit, even the same colour engine. That black tyre, Jesus.
And it's a 310. But it's got
an M1800 with a 240 and I thought that were big.
yeah. But this is a 700 inline 4.
That's right.
So it's got a...
It sounds well, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
It's just a Chinese thing at the moment, you know.
That's all changed now. That's all changed now. They're so well built. That engine is the Honda CB650 engine, but obviously brought out to 676. But it rides lovely. I was expecting it to be a bit cumbersome with that tyre, but it's so simple. All right, cheers.
Look out for your video.
Yeah, thank you. So I just pulled onto this 60 bit. It's absolutely fine. Pulling up there, I'm not getting any buzz. I'm getting no buzzing feedback through the switch gears, nothing through the grips, nothing through the seat, nothing through the foot pegs. It's actually a lot less vibey than I thought originally. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. So here we are back. Now, what do I have to say about that? Well, in terms of negativity, let's address that first. I have to say, the only negative bit I can feel with regards to that vibration is if you ride it hard in each gear, you get a little bit of buzz through the foot pegs and through the seat. But it's not that style of bike. It's not a sports bike, so you shouldn't ride it like a sports bike. Ride it like a cruiser, change gear properly at the right revs, you don't notice it. At 60 mile an hour, cruising in 6th gear, you get a tiny, and I mean tiny, bit of buzz through the foot pegs. Nothing through the seat, nothing through anything else. But other than that, nothing. And it just rides so well for the type of bike it is. It's unique in its class. There's nothing else like it. And it is brilliant. It gets all the attention. It's so cheap for what you get. And it's just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I mean, I just love that racy sound. It's just so unexpected from that style of bike. And that tyre. That is just superb. I love it. I absolutely love it. £9,000. That's mad. So then, to sum up, a £9,000 super cruiser that rides like a sports bike in terms of the engine, but feels like a cruiser and looks like a cruiser, and a Fat Bob Harley with that massive tyre. It's just, like I say, it stands out there on its own, and I absolutely love it. It rides brilliantly. The only downside, I would say, was that thing I was talking about with this tiny bit of vibration, but it's not off-putting, not at all. And I just love the way it rides. I absolutely adore the way it looks. And for £9,000, show me something else for that money, for this style of bike, that is a comparison. Show me. And I know people are going to say, yeah, but it's Chinese. Now, you've got to get over that. You know, everyone was saying it about the Japanese bikes when it was going from British to Japanese. And China is doing the same. So people were harking on about British bikes and not moving to Japanese. Now people are harking on about Japanese bikes and not moving to Chinese. The difference is the transition of time from British to Japanese was a lot longer than Japanese to Chinese. That's a lot shorter. A lot has happened in a very short amount of time. And I think they've absolutely done wonders with it. So there you go. There's not many bikes that I absolutely love. There's something that about it, but this is phenomenal. And don't get me wrong, you have to ride it, as I say, and know how to take the corners, but once you get used to it, it's a doddle. And that brings me to the end of this episode. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and click the notification bell for more uploads. As I say, coming up in the next video will be the Napoleon Bob, and then the one after that will be the Chinchilla. So stay tuned for those. At the end of September, I'm going to be back up here for the launch of the QJ Motor 16 bike fleet. So stay tuned for that as well. And of course, I've got lots of other things coming in the meantime. So until next time, please ride and drive carefully, but have fun. Bye-bye.